Okay. Okay. So let's start with revision of your lesson number 1. Okay, we have already done with your 5 to 6 lessons. So let's start. Basically तुमचं रीडिंग क्लिअर व्हायला पाहिजे. ओके, that's why we are going to do this. First you will read the whole lesson and then I will be asking you the question. Okay, let's start with 5th standard. Who are there in the 5th standard? Aniket, Tanmay and Karnika. And Anuj and Adesh is from 6th standard. Okay. So let's start reading. Tanmay, you will be reading, you will be starting with the lesson.
Our Earth and our solar system. When we look up from an open ground, we see the sky. In a clear night sky, we can see many stars. They are very far away from the Earth. Some stars are prominent, very
Prominent.
prominent, while some are tiny and faint. If we look at them carefully, we find that many of them twinkle, but some do not. They, the sun and the moon are comparatively close to the earth,
Comparatively.
comparatively close to the earth, so we can see their round shape clearly. The sun, the moon, the star, the planet, etc. are all known as heavenly bodies. Try this. Observe the sky on 2 clear nights, keeping a gap of about a week between them. Base your observation on the following points. The brightness of the heavenly bodies better they twinkle, their color and size changes in their position on both nights. Draw a picture of the
Illuminated.
illuminated portion of the moon and note how it changes from day to day. For
Okay, stop. Stop. Next is Aniket.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Start reading.
Stars. The heavenly bodies that twinkle are called stars. Stars have their own light. The sun is a star. It is closer to us than any of the other stars. Hence, it appears big from the star and brilliant i-
Brilliant.
and brilliant in its
Bright.
light bright light. During the day we cannot see other planets.
Other
Pla-
stars.
Other stars. Planets. The heavenly bodies that do not twinkle are called planets. Planets do not have light of their own. They get light from the stars. Planets revolve around a star even as they rotate around themselves. So, the solar system. Our Earth is a planet. It gets its light from the sun. It moves around the sun. Its movement around the sun is called the revolution. And the bodies, Earth
Besides.
There are seven other planets that revolve around the sun. They are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter,
Saturn.
Saturn, Uranus, and
Uranus.
Neptune.
Okay, stop. Karnika.
Every planet.
Karnika, start reading.
Every planet in the solar system revolves around the sun, also
Along.
a specific part. This part is known,
Known.
known as that planets uh, orbit
Orbit.
orbit the sun, which is the star, and the planet that revolve around it are together called the solar system. Besides
Besides,
besides the planets, the solar system also includes
includes
includes various to their
various
other
other
heavenly bodies. Other heavenly bodies in the solar system.
satellites.
Satellite. Some heavenly body
Revolve.
revolve around planets. These are called satellites. Satellites to get their light from the sun. We see the moon at night. It revolves around the earth. Hence it is called the satellite of the earth. Most of the planets in the solar system have satellites. The planets revolve around the sun. Also,
Along with
along with their solar system.
satellites. Yes, continue.
Dwarf planets, they are some smaller heavenly bodies that revolve around the sun. They are called dwarf planets. Of these, the most
Most well known.
most well known is Pluto.
Flu-
Dwarf
Dwarf.
planets revolve independently around the sun. They have an orbit of their own.
Okay, stop. Next, Tanmay.
Yes, teacher.
Read from asteroids.
Astronauts. Between the planets Mars and Jupiter, there is a band of numerous small heavenly bodies. They are called astronauts. Astronauts also revolve around the sun. Compared to the sun, other heavenly bodies in the solar system are much smaller. The moon is closest to the earth. That is why it appears to be so big, although
Although,
although it is actually very much smaller than the sun. The diagram of the solar system is give
given,
below given below. In it you see the sun in the cen- center, the heavenly bodies that revolve around it and their orbits, the planets, satellites, dwarf planets and astronauts are all parts of the solar system.
gravity.
Gravity. All heavenly bodies exert a force of attraction or a pull on one another. This force is called the force of gravity. The sun exerts a gravitational
Gravitational
gravitational pull on all planets, whereas the tendency of the planets is to
tendency of the planet.
tendency of the planets is to move away from the sun. As a result of these two forces, a planet keeps revolving around the sun at a fixed distance in a fixed
Fixed. Fixed distance.
distance in a fixed orbit. In the same way, satellites revolve around their planets.
Okay, stop. Aniket,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, start reading.
Due to the Earth's gravity, all things on the Earth remain on it, even if we throw some things upward with great force.
Force. Great force.
It great force. It finally falls down to the ground. A new word, space. The in,
Emptiness.
emptiness between and beyond the stars and planets is called space or outer space. People have always been curious about the heavenly bodies in the sky. They have always wanted to reach them. However,
However,
however to send, send some object from the earth into space, it must be given power.
yes, continue, Aniket.
Against the force of
Force.
gravity,
Against the force.
against the force of gravity, rocket technology or space launcher technology is used for that purpose. One, one of the Diwali foray
Firecrackers.
firecracker is called a rocket. It is packed with ins-
Packed. It is packed.
it is packed with explosive
Explosive.
explosive substance. The explosives burn
Burn.
burn
Burn.
rapid,
Burn.
burn rapidly and produce
Rapidly.
rapidly and produce a lot of energy. The design of the
Design.
design of the rocket is such that the firecracker is pushed in
Pushed.
pushed in a at
Certain direction.
certain direction at a great speed.
Okay, stop. Next, Karnika. Yes, Karnika, start reading.
Very powerful rockets are used to send
Send.
a spacecraft into space. A, a tremendous a tremendous quantity of fuel is burned in a rocket so that spacecraft weighing thousands of tons
Tons.
can be launched
Launch.
into space. In the
20th.
28th century, a few quantities
Countries.
countries of the world belongs developed
Developed.
space technology and sent hundreds of spacecraft into space. Our country is
Well
is
known.
well known for the development of its space launch.
Technology. Space launch technology.
Some some spacecraft remain in space. Some are brought back brought back to Earth. Will
While
some land on the planets or satellites? In some in some missions, scientists also travel in the spacecraft. They are called astronauts. Do you
okay.
know?
Okay, stop. Yes. So, fifth standard, your reading has completed. Yes. Should I ask you the questions now? Are you ready to give the answers? Okay, start. Okay. So, I'll be asking the question from the lesson itself. Okay. What are planets? What are planets? Yes, what are planets? Yes, Tanmay?
Planets, the heavenly bodies that do not twinkle, are called planets.
Okay. Karnika. Karnika,
The
you have your EVS1 in Marathi, right? Yes, Karnika? Okay, so you can answer in Marathi.
मॅम आता माझ्याकडे ती मराठीची बुक माझ्या फ्रेंडला दिली आहे. मी इंग्लिश मधून सांगू शकते.
Okay, it's fine. Yes, you can tell in English.
The heavenly bodies that do not twinkle are called planets.
Okay. What are stars? And tell me the example of star. What are star and tell me its example. Aniket. Aniket, tell me what are stars. Okay, Karnika.
The heavenly body that twinkle are called stars. The sun is a star.
Okay. What are satellites? What are satellite and give me one example of that. Yes, Tanmay.
Some heavenly bodies revolve around planets. They are called satellites. Satellite to get their light from the sun.
What is the example of satellite? Tell me one example of satellite. What is Earth satellite? Earthचा satellite कोण आहे?
Most of the
Moon.
planets.
Okay. No, moon. Moon is satellite of Earth. Dwarf planet. What are dwarf planet? What do you mean by dwarf planet? Yes, Karnika.
Some small heavenly bodies that revolves around the sun. They are
Okay, and
called
tell me example of
planets.
it. Tell me example of it. Yes, who will tell me example of dwarf planet? Tanmay? Pluto. Okay. Pluto is a dwarf planet. What are asteroids? What are asteroids? Am I audible? आवाज येतोय का माझा? Yes. Okay. Tanmay. What are asteroids?
Between the planet Mars and Jupiter, there is a band of numerous small heavenly bodies. They are called asteroids.
Okay. Next is what is space? What is space? Yes, who will answer what is space? What do you mean by space? Yes? What do you mean by space? Karnika? Okay, Tanmay, what is space? Yes, do you
The
know?
emptiness between and beyond the stars is called space.
Yes, good. The emptiness between and beyond the stars. What are astronauts? Who are called as astronauts? Yes, what are astronauts? To whom we called astronauts? Yes, anyone? Karnika, you have read it just now. Yes. Put on your mic, Karnika. Tell me.
In some mission, scientists also travel in the spacecraft. They are called astronauts.
Good. Okay. Tell me names of some planets. Some planets. Yes, Tanmay.
Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Earth, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Pluto.
Yes. Next question is which is the only planet which has life on it? Which is the only planet which has life on it? Yes, Tanmay.
Earth.
Earth. Okay. Okay. Now answer the question. You can see me from the earth, but the lightened part of me that you see changes every day. Who am I? Yes, Tanmay.
Moon.
Okay, good. No other planet has a living world like me. No other planet has a living world like me. Yes, Tanmay.
Earth.
Yes, good. Next is I am the nearest star to the earth. I am the nearest star to the earth. Karnika?
Sun.
Good. Okay. So we have completed your lesson number 1's revision. Right? Have you got everything? Have you got everything? Okay. Next, sixth standard, your first lesson. Everyone is going to read. Okay. There are only two students in
Yes.
the sixth standard. Anuj and Adesh are there. So fifth standard students, if you have interest, you can also read. Okay. Let's start with Anuj. Anuj, start reading.
Yes, teacher.
Start reading.
Natural resources. You
Air,
you can you can see that something in the picture or in water, some on land, and some in the sky. The that is in the air. Those all things on the earth or are
associated
associated with air, water, and land. Air, water, and land are called the Earth, Earth,
earth's
Earth, Earth's
atmosphere.
atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere, respectively. Moreover, moreover, the,
Moreover,
moreover, different living things
occupy
occupy these three spheres of the
spheres
spheres of the earth. These living things and the parts of the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere, which they occupy or are together called the biosphere. These spheres have
form
formed on the earth. Natural we
naturally
naturally we have learned
learn learned
all this in the provides
previous.
previous standard.
Okay, stop. Next is Adesh. Adesh, start reading.
Yes, teacher. The atmos atmosphere
Atmosphere
is the layer of air that
surrounds
surround the earth. The
Surface
Surface of the earth composes
comprises
water and land. That is the hydrosphere and lithosphere. Of this, the hydrosphere the
occupies
occupying of com-
a
a,
much larger
a much larger plate
part.
part than the lithosphere.
Figure
Figure 1.2 shows the
proportion
portion of land and water of the earth
surface.
surface. We also look,
Look upon
look upon this with
natural
natural
components,
components in so- so-
solid,
solid, solid,
liquid,
liquid, and
gaseous
gaseous from as
resources.
resources. In other words, we use them to
Fulfill
fulfill out rem-
our
our
requirements.
our requirements. Live, let use now.
Let us
Let us use now. Step all three.
study
Study all these there.
all these three components
All these three components in
detail.
detail.
हाँ, what's next? Okay. Next, fifth standard will read. Okay. Okay. Tanmay, start reading.
Air. The air in the atmosphere around the Earth contains nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, six
Inert gases.
inert gases, nitrogen dioxide,
Sulfur
sulfur dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles.
particles.
The particles troposphere contains
Contains. Troposphere contains.
about 80% of the total mass of gases in the air. While this pro-
While
while this pro- proportion
proportion
proportion is about 90% in the troposphere, further in the mesosphere and ionosphere, the proportion of the
proportion
proportion of the mass of gas goes on
decreasing
decreasing gases are not found in the exosphere and beyond. You can see that air in is a mixture of several gases and is the chief constituent of the
constituent
constituent of the Earth's atmosphere. Beside these gases, air also contains water vapor and dust particles. The amount of the gases in the air is the greatest near the surface and decreasing As we go higher and higher from the surface, that is, air becomes rare at higher altitudes.
Altitudes.
altitudes the proportion the proportion of the constituents of air and some of their uses are given here.
Okay, stop. Next, Karnika.
Some uses of gases in air. Nitrogen helps
Helps living things
living things to build the necessary
necessary
proteins. It is useful in the production of ammonia
ammonia,
and in airtight
airtight,
packaging of foodstuffs. Oxygen necessary for aspiration in living things are for
combustion,
combustion. Carbon dioxide plants
plants,
use to it for producing their food. Use in fire
extinguisher,
extinguishing. Organ use in electric bulbs. Helium used for obtaining
low
low,
temperature,
low temperature and also for generating
generating
life in
lift,
lift in airships. Neon use in decorative lights and for street links.
lightning,
Lightning. Craft use
krypton,
in krypton. Use in fluorescent
fluorescent tubes,
for fluorescent
xenon,
Neon use in flash photography.
photography. Okay, stop. Next, Aniket.
Yes, ma'am.
Aniket is here. Yes, start reading.
The living world on the earth is sustained due to the balance between various gases and another constituent of air. The atmosphere is a very important filter. It allows the light and heat of the sun to reach the earth, which is necessary for life, but it prevents the harmful elements from reaching the earth. It is in the atmosphere that fog, clo- clo-
Clouds.
clouds, snow, and rain and produce it.
Yes, continue. Aniket, continue reading.
Yes, all the above pictures show large scale emission of smoke through different engaged
Agencies.
agencies. This smoke directly mixed with the atmosphere, disturbing
Disturbing.
the balance between the constituents of air. This is called air pollution. Harmful gases are given out through combustion. of fuels in vehicle and in big int- introduction as
Industries.
industries and also through incomplete combustion of fuels like wood and coal as a result pollution is
Result. As a result.
as a result air pollution is increasing day by day.
Okay, put off your mic. Anuj. Anuj, read about ozone layer.
Yes, teacher.
Ozone layer.
Ozone layer, the
Aniket, put off your
protective
mic.
shell. There is a la- layer of ozone or O3 O3 gas in the lower parts of
Stratosphere.
stratosphere. Ozone gas is not directly use,
Useful.
useful for the survival of living things. It
It.
at it is very important for living things to have this layer of ozone to
At.
at o, at a high
Altitude.
altitude around the earth. The ultraviolet rays come
Coming.
coming from the sun are very harmful
Harmful.
for living things. The ozone gas absorbs the
Absorbs.
absorbs these rays as a result. Life,
Life.
life on Earth is protect
Protected.
protected. The ozone layer is
Destroyed.
destroyed if chemical gases like carbon
Tetrachloride.
petrochloride tetrachloride or the
Chlorofluorocarbons.
chlorofluorocarbons used in air condi-
Conditioners.
conditioners and
Refrigerators.
refrigerators mix with the air. The 16th of September is celebrated as ozone
Protection.
partition
Protection.
protection day all over the world to make everyone
Aware.
aware of the importance of ozone.
Okay, stop. See, we have completed about air, so I am going to ask only questions based on air. Okay. आपण नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला कंटिन्यू करूया. आता जो कंप्लीट झालाय, जस्ट वी हॅव 10 मिनिट्स लेफ्ट, त्यामुळे येस, जो पार्ट आता कंप्लीट झालाय त्याच्यावर मी तुम्हाला क्वेश्चन विचारणार आहे. द लेअर ऑफ ओझोन गॅस ऍब्झॉर्ब डॅश डॅश रेज दॅट कमिंग फ्रॉम द सन टू द अर्थ. येस, who will answer this question? Anuj, Adesh. The layer of ozone gas absorbs dash dash rays that come from the sun to the earth. ओझोन लेअर कोणता रेज ऍब्झॉर्ब करते? आताच वाचलं आदेश.
अल्ट्रा
अल्ट्रा.
अल्ट्रा व्हायोलेट रेज. ओके. नेक्स्ट sorry. Why is it said that the ozone layer is a protective shell of earth? The ozone layer is a protective shell of earth. असं का म्हटलं जातं? ओझोन लेअरला अर्थची प्रोटेक्टिव्ह शेल का म्हटलं जातं? आत्ताच अनुजने वाचलंय, सांगा लवकर. Yes, why it is said that the ozone layer is protective shell of earth? का म्हटलं जातं ओझोन लेअरला अर्थची प्रोटेक्टिव्ह शेल? Because it absorbs the ultraviolet rays coming from the sun that are very harmful for living things. Okay, and hence the life on earth is protected. Hence ozone layer is called as the shell of the earth, protective shell of the earth. Understood? समजलाय? Yes. अनुज, आदेश, समजलाय का आन्सर? ओके. आता मला सांगा, नेम द फॉलोइंग इनर्ट गॅसेस इन एअर. कोणकोणते इनर्ट गॅसेस एअर मध्ये प्रेझेंट असतात? What are the inert gases that are present in air?
हायड्रोस्फियर लेथोस्फियर एटमॉस्फियर
No. Inert gases I am asking about. कोणकोणते इनर्ट गॅसेस हवेत प्रेझेंट असतात?
नाइट्रोजन ऑक्सीजन आर्गन कार्बन ऑक्सीजन कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड
C. Argon, helium, neon, krypton, xenon. Okay. Next is ओझोन लेअरला हार्मफुल असणारे गॅसेस कोणते आहेत? एसी आणि आपल्या फ्रीज मध्ये कोणता गॅस असतो ज्यामुळे ओझोन लेअर डिप्लीट होत चालली आहे? ओझोन लेअर डिस्ट्रॉय होत चालली आहे. कोणते गॅसेस असतात असे ओझोन लेअर सॉरी आपल्या रेफ्रिजरेटर आणि एअर कंडिशनर मध्ये? कार्बन टेट्राक्लोराइड अँड क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन्स. ओके. येस, समजलेत का हे क्वेश्चन आन्सर्स? अनुज?
यस.
Okay. So we are going to stop over here because we have very less time left. Okay. त्यामुळे आपण पुढचं कंटिन्यू करू शकत नाही. नेक्स्ट आपला वॉटर आणि लँड आहे, तो आपण नेक्स्ट लेक्चरला कंप्लीट करू आणि त्याच्यावर क्वेश्चन आन्सर्स घेऊ. ओके. आजचा जो काही होमवर्क आहे, आज आपण जेवढे प्रश्न घेतलेत ते तुम्हाला लिहायचे आहेत. मी ते प्रश्न अपलोड करणार आहे आणि तुम्ही त्याचे आन्सर्स लिहिणार आहात. ओके, सो we'll meet in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye everyone. You all can leave the class now.
Bye teacher, take care.